Okay, just making this video because I always make a video for these. I'm not going to do this one like I typically do, though. I'm not going to talk about the model number or even the price. I don't think I'm going to. They're in the order shown as in the order that is in the drop. So this is just for my private Random Rob Discord. They are incredible deals. These are all no box, no paper, and the majority of them do not even come on the factory strap or bracelet. Some do. You'll see that as we go. Let's just dig into it. So I don't know how to do this exactly, but because typically I mention what I'm not going to mention it. I'm just going to show them. So you get a look at what this is. One of the only Seikos that actually has the bracelet, but it is worn. It's got a couple little marks and everything. But again, no box, no paper. Sorry, I was just outside. So, and then here's a green one. A lot of these, if they're not on their factory straps, they're on these Bartons. Now I will say they're the short Bartons, and a lot of them still, like this one, has the plastic on the bottom. So although it doesn't have the box and papers, they're still in, for the most part, in the same condition as all the other watches that have been done in the drop. So expect, used like new condition, essentially. But showing this video is showing you, again, there is some scratches on that one. So I just noticed that. So I might adjust the price. I know this one was listed at $75. I'll probably reduce it down to $50 because I just noticed those scratches. So let me make note of that because I will forget, and I'll change it on the drop too. So I'm going to lower that one to $50 because of those scratches. I'm usually pretty good at spotting that stuff, but I missed it on that one. That one has some hairlines there too. Not like the other one though. No, this one's clean. Here's a camo dial. Pretty cool, pretty fun. They're all dusty a little bit, but so if you see anything on there, it's typically just going to be dust or fingerprints or something like that. This is that mod one. I know people were hesitant on this one, but it's a really good mod. So basically a 5KX with a, I believe a sapphire insert. So should be loomed too. So pretty cool mod for, I think I listed this one at 75. I think it's a good mod for 75 bucks. Killer deal on this one for sure. This is a near mint condition SKX 007J. It's in between the date change. And then here is a SKX A35, the yellow dial, in the more traditional layout, which those new 5KXs also have that square rectangle pattern instead of the round ones when they went to the 007 and 009. Again, this one's in between date change as well. And they do all, I mean, they should all run. I didn't like time graph them and stuff like that, but. Now I have two of these SRPA 21s, and Bean Boy pointed out that I believe this is the earlier generation. And then, because they were all special edition, which means they're not limited, which means they can just remake them whenever they did. And the sales were so good on them. They did, in fact, do that, but they did change it a little bit. So like the dial's a little bit different. The markers are a little bit different, but it's still all nice and crisp. It's still, they almost look like, yeah, they almost look like they're applied markers. I don't think they are though. So there's two different variants of there, and I listed them in that order. Now here's the spork. I know this one's going to get a lot of attention. This is the older 7S movement, similar to what's in those SKXs. So you just do the Seikos shuffle and it gets running. But sadly, no bracelet with this one. A little bit of scratching there around that mark there, or that drill plug. But and then I actually wore it for a couple days, if I'm honest with you guys. I've never worn a spork, so I wanted to wear it. But cool watch. Another turtle, of course, on a Barton. Again, these are all priced very aggressive. So, 4th gen Monster. This Samurai actually does come with the factory strap. So I must have left the case open or something for a good day or two. A little bit of dust on it. Pretty much everything. And this is like IP coated. Here's another turtle. This one has like the mantas on it. And it's the last one I showed and this one are both king turtles. So you get the sapphire, you get the ceramic bezel insert, and you get the different bezel, different traction on it. And then you have the green kind of grenade style or checkered pattern on the dial, as well as the black variant. I think these are the timeless, classic ones when the first started doing the king turtles. These are the early releases of those. And then here's a Presage. I think this might be a Ritchie strap or something. It's a decent leather strap. But nice Presage, clean blue. Periwinkle almost. Okay, let's move on to the next case. Try to keep this thing rolling. I know it's going to be a long video. There is 62 watches, if my math is correct, which is ridiculous. But did I do this in order? I think I did this in order. If I didn't do this in order, I will splice the video so it is in order. I guess I have the capability of doing that. I just don't want to. Huge crown on that thing. That's what she said. Okay, and then here's a HMT or something. Kind of skeletonized. Very much like a Rado case. Here's a helm. Sadly on a Barton, but you could probably put a different bracelet or different, maybe you don't like bracelets and this is a great opportunity for you. This one here, I think what people are hesitant to snag onto, this is a killer deal on this Hamilton. I actually even really like this one. Newer release, all black, day date, automatic, 42 millimeter. Very cool. And then you have this Citizen Bullhead. It's on the smaller side, guys. This thing here, you might not realize it, but is only 38 millimeter wide. So it's on the smaller side of things, but pretty cool watch. Quartz. Here we go. Here's an M-Force Orient. Kind of a gold brown colorway, kind of bronzy looking. Kind of a beast of a watch. And then these are all those like what I called kind of a copies or whatever. They're probably decent watches. I don't know. I don't want one, but this one's got some sort of imperial thing on the back or something. This is a mechanical, and it's a single hand. I don't know, kind of weird. I don't know why I didn't latch it down, but whatever. And then these are all those Flieger style. They have like blued hands. Just clean design. Here's one, here's one. And then here's a bronze variant. Blue dial. Non-blued hands on this one, of course. Here's a Hamdaller Seiko Monster. Look. There they put a big pip up there instead of filling it like the Seiko does. Here's a Detroit Mint, kind of Willard style in a nice red. And then another one of those guys. Display case back, looks like maybe a Miyota movement. I forget what this one even is. Is this a San Martin? I think this might be a San Martin. Look at that, that's pretty wild looking. I have a few more of these too in boxes. I'm not familiar with this brand at all, but pretty unique designs. This one has a dead battery. Kind of a, that might even be a real carbon fiber dial. And a couple more Fliegers, but in the other type dial. So you have the type A, type B, whatever. All right, next case. And I just decided if these are not in order, I am not going to edit it. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. They're at least in some kind of order. These two cases I may be mixed up. Here's that Axios Pathfinder. I have the white dial variant of this. Awesome watch. Here's that Bulova Devil Diver, which I'm shocked I don't just grab this because jeweled markers, sapphire crystal with a date magnifier on the bottom. It's just a really cool watch. We have a few Alpinas here. Don't know what that button does. Is that a button? I don't know what that does. Self-destruct. Oh, wait a minute. Is that hinged? Hold on a second. Does this thing open? Am I discovering something? What opens? Why is that hinged? It opens the case back. I'm such an idiot. Did I price this wrong? What is this? This is the Alpina Star Timer Pilot Heritage. That is freaking cool. Completely unnecessary, but now I really like this watch. You might not get it. You'll probably get it. Another Alpina. No fancy, nice bezel action though. I got really good deals on these guys because they take a hit already, but then you're going to take a bigger hit when you don't have the box and papers. So bad for the seller, good for the buyer. This is actually a really nice GMT style watch, I believe. This is another like killer watch. And I love the fact that the sapphire crystal is applied right to the case. So Alpina does some really cool stuff. Check out this one. Very legible, clean, kind of a darker tone to the case. Larger watch, but here's a Hamilton XXL Ventura. You can see through the gridded dial a little bit. Fun watch. Here's that Hamilton mechanical. And again, it's a little bit smaller watch. And they did the same thing. Sapphire crystal right to the case. I love that. I don't know why. That's one of the things I nerd out about. Hamilton Scuba khaki in the orange and black colorway. He's got a little dusty too. Pretty much square Hamilton, kind of more dressy look to it. There's a time and place for those. I just never seem to lock in on them. Very cool looking Oris. Love the layout of this. Kind of reminds me of the is it the Crazy Hours or something like that? But it's super thin, curves a little bit to your wrist. Nice Oris. And check out this Seiko. What is that, a Tourneau case, I think they call it. I believe this is the SARY 111 Tourneau, whatever, something like that. And then here's this. Nice bold colors, kind of a slab style case. Colored crown. Here's a GMT Islander. revolver watch. These are always kind of fun, the way they lay out the dials. And we have some very good deals on Tissot. Here's a Visa date. It's a day-date variant. Blue. Here is a gold-toned, I think this is a regulator configuration. Not exactly, because there's no, well, I guess it's just a small seconds with the thing up there. It's not a regulator at all. It's just a unique configuration. But pretty fun, dressy looking watch. Tissot PRX, Powermatic. Might take more than just a shuffle to get running because it is an 80 hour. Nope, it started off. It's crazy what and it's on the factory strap, of course, because it's integrated. The Mito Ocean Star GMT. And then another Mito with a helium escape valve. This one is on a factory strap, rubber strap. Okay. I still have that Alpina out. And then lastly is just some Swatch watches. So this one needs a battery, which battery changes on these are actually pretty easy. I'm not changing them. There's only so much I can do. You know, here's the Earth. I think this one might be running. Is it running? Yeah, that one's running. You can see it ticking. I think the Sun, yeah, I think the Sun one runs as well, because when they were stored, someone pulled the crowns out. So this one's a System 51, so it's an automatic, but pretty cool case design. The big jelly one that needs a battery. Again, battery changes are easy on these. I didn't include this one, but here's just a random Casio Duro, and because it's in the case, I am just going to randomly pick somebody, and I'm just going to include this. It needs a battery, but I'm just going to throw it in. And there's more. If you want to buy more of those, I think I have some more of them, but that's it. Good luck.